After years in the political wilderness, Labour's feeling confident things are now looking up for the party in Scotland. Keir Starmer's key opponents here are not the Conservatives, but the SNP.
Send a message. That is the height of the SNP ambition, to send a message, a protest in Westminster. I don't want Scotland to send a message. I want Scotland to send a government, a Labour government.
Labour only secured one MP in Scotland at the last general election. Keir Starmer claims the country will be vital for him to win this time round.
Keir Starmer, you're so far ahead in the polls now. You don't really need Scotland to win, do you?
Well, it matters to me, over and above the numbers, that we have strong representation here in Scotland.
But on those numbers, you don't need Scotland. So why shouldn't Scots, particularly those who support independence, still vote for the SNP?
Well, look, the SNP is as divided and chaotic as the Tories.
But what's behind Labour's broader message of change? Keir Starmer's offering in Scotland seems built around a plan for a publicly owned clean power company headquartered here, something he says will lower bills. A focus on renewable energy is a dividing line with the Conservatives, who think Labour aren't being honest about the costs.
Let's get moving. Let's get moving. We're going.
Rishi Sunak needed all the energy he could get today as he rushed to Northern Ireland, his fourth UK nation visit in under 40 hours. Someone had decided it would be a good idea for him to set sail from Belfast's Titanic Quarter, which inevitably led to questions like this one.
Prime Minister, we are just yards away from where the Titanic was built and designed. Are you captaining a sinking ship going into this election?
So if you look at what's happened over the past few weeks alone, you can see that our plan is working. Inflation has returned to normal. Energy bills just today, we received welcome news, are falling. Wages have been rising faster than prices for 10 months. And at the beginning of this year, our economy grew faster than pretty much all our major competitors. So whilst I know, of course, there's still more work to do and people are only just starting to feel the benefits, it's clear that the plan is working.
But the visuals left some Conservatives unimpressed. Ruth Davidson tweeted, "Now a site visit to something famous for sinking. Is there a double agent in CCHQ? And were they a headline writer in a previous life? Our candidates deserve better."
This is when it could be horrendously disastrous.
Nothing says election campaign like politicians posing with poultry and a variety of other farmyard friends. Out on a croft in Inverness today, Kate Forbes says the SNP has now got things under control after a difficult start.
We have one of the most popular leaders across the UK leading the party in John Swinney. We've seen his approval ratings continue to rise. The SNP is presenting a united front, and ultimately I think voters want to see a vision for hope and change. You know, we've had Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer in Scotland. They're gone in a blink.
Back in England, the photo calls continues late into the afternoon.
Is that about enough?
It's going to be a long 6 weeks as every party seeks to build support.
Catherine Sampson now. In the Commons, some of the departing MPs have been giving their valedictory speeches. Around 1 in 5 MPs have signalled they will be standing down. Some familiar faces among them. In the last few minutes, Cabinet Minister Michael Gove has just said he won't run for re-election. Let's get the latest from Westminster and our senior political correspondent, Paul McNamara. Paul McNamara, what can you tell us?
Yeah, look, for the last couple of months, weeks, we've had the slow drip feed of MPs, Tory MPs, announcing they're not going to be standing at the general election. The tap has been turned. It's sped up over the last 48 hours. But Michael Gove announcing he's standing down is like a water pipe bursting on Conservative Party headquarters. This is the man who's been pulled in by successive prime ministers to do the difficult jobs. In his letter, he said, look, there comes a moment when you know that it is time to leave and it's time for a new generation. There's various reasons as to why he's standing down, but ultimately this will be seen as a vote of no confidence in the Tory party. And it's not just him. We also had Greg Clark, the former business minister, standing down. Right now, there are 120 MPs announcing they're not going to be standing. That's the highest ever. Beat the record of 97, and 77 of those are Conservatives. They are considerably younger than their Labour counterparts who are standing down. Many in their 50s, some even in their 40s, who should have a long time in here left. But this isn't just a day for people standing down and giving their last speeches. There's also been time for cramming through last-minute legislation, including the Post Office Offences Bill, which will clear the names of innocent postmasters wrongly convicted, and the Victims of Prisoners Bill, which will deliver compensation for those with infected blood. Look, Parliament is going to look very different this time. In a few months, whoever wins, it's going to look very different for the Labour Party as well. News for the Labour Party today, Jeremy Corbyn is standing as an independent. We were asking people in Islington North what that meant to them. A leading light of the Labour left in the 80s, 90s.
This is a ridiculous way of running a democratic party.
And all the way through the 2000s.
Thank you.
It's a campaign the former Labour leader would like to take on in 2024 as well.
But members of Islington North Labour have been denied the right to choose their own candidate, and alongside that, the community as a whole has been disempowered because of that. That's why I'm standing to be an independent candidate for the people of Islington North.
4 years ago, Jeremy Corbyn was suspended from the Parliamentary Labour Party after he suggested the scale of anti-Semitism in the party had been, quote, dramatically overstated by opponents in response to the Equality and Human Rights Commission report into Labour's handling of complaints.
Has Keir Starmer stitched you up, Mr Corbyn?
Jeremy Corbyn was first elected in 1983. His rising majority skyrocketed in the 1997 Blair landslide, then to an extent outperformed the popularity of Labour in general, peaking as leader in 2017 but falling 2 years later. The question for him, Labour and the people of Islington North, are voters loyal to the man or the party? What do you think of the party then, kicking him out?
Well, what can I say? They're idiots.
Admittedly, one or two things that he says, and certain things he follows.
I mean, some would say those one or two things are pretty important.
Absolutely. You're right.
Anti-Semitism in the party, was it big accusations when he was leader?
Indeed, but at the moment I look around and what do I see? I see Keir Starmer, who I find him very weak.
Well, he used to be my neighbour.
Oh, yeah?
So we grew up together. And he's the only person that I'm going to vote for.
No, he's running as an independent.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Good for Jeremy. I'm delighted for him. Keep going. He's going to keep going. I know he will. He'll get there. Good for Jeremy. That way.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Where's your vote going?
Labour.
Instead of Jeremy Corbyn?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? How come? A lot of people around here seem to love him.
Yeah, they do. I know we're in his neighbourhood, aren't we? But yeah, it's not really my guy. Just never really got a good vibe from him.
As for the vibe today from the current Labour leader...
But Jeremy Corbyn will make his own decisions. I think he's standing as an independent. That's his choice. We will have an excellent Labour candidate in Islington North, as we've got excellent Labour candidates across the country.
My name is Praful Nargand, and I'm a young entrepreneur.
He's also the Labour candidate now, while the Tories are yet to pick their person.
The leader of the opposition, Jeremy Corbyn.
Jeremy Corbyn may never forgive Keir Starmer recent events. The question now, will the people of Islington North?